While the two massive dragons approached the Red Keep from the landward side, Lord Corlys Velaryon sailed into the gullet and blockaded the city by sea. From inside the city, Queen Mother Alicent scrambled to organize a desperate defense, but with few troops and no dragon riders at her disposal, there was nothing she could do. Knowing she had no other recourse, Alicent surrendered the city to Rhaenyra. In return for handing over Queen's Landing bloodlessly, the Queen Mother was spared, as was her daughter-in-law Queen Helena. But her father, Otto Hightower, alongside many other lords, were not so lucky. The capital now secured, Queen Rhaenyra took her seat upon the Iron Throne of Westeros. The loss of the capital sent Sir Criston and Aemond reeling, and they decided to respond by splitting up. Sir Criston would head south to reinforce Ormond Hightower in the Reach. Aemond, meanwhile, would mount atop Vagar and proceed upon a spree of utter devastation, putting the Riverlands to the torch, hoping this carnage might draw out one of the Black's dragon riders to face him. Proceeding south in Aemond's wake, Sir Criston's armies witnessed nothing but a blackened, dead land. That is, until they reached Crossed Elms, where they were ambushed by Lord Dustin's Winter Wolves and the River Lords. In what would later become known as the Butcher's Ball, Sir Criston was slaughtered alongside the rest of his army. This was the high point for Rhaenyra in the war. She held the capital, had crippled the Green's armies in battle after battle. Yet these triumphs would be fickle things, and the Black Queen's triumphs would soon turn to ashes in her mouth. Despite their many losses, one relatively intact army of the Greens remained, that of Ormond Hightower. Despite the odds, Lord Hightower, accompanied by Prince Daeron and his dragon Tessarion, had scored a string of victories against Black's supporters in the Reach, and was now advancing upon King's Landing. En route, they found out that the townsfolk of Bitterbridge had killed the king's youngest son, Maelor Targaryen, who had passed through there after being smuggled out of King's Landing following its fall. In a vengeful fury, Daeron subjected the town to a brutal sack. To deal with Ormond and Daeron's advance, Rhaenyra deployed an army and two of the Dragon Seeds, Ulf the White and Hugh Hammer, to hold the line at the town of Tumbleton. However, when Ormond and Daeron arrived upon the town, it was clear their force greatly outnumbered the Blacks within the walls. Hedging their bets, the two former peasants-turned-dragon riders turncoated and switched sides to help sack the town. In the ensuing battle, Ormond Hightower was slain, but the Greens were victorious.